I'm excited. I've been excited for Crackdown 3 as I would be to have my fucking balls put into a beehive.
Jesus.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the Controller. I'm Gladys, and with me as always is Cryptic Panther,
Hey, everybody.
Fatti,
Eh.
and Uberyoutuber.
Hello.
We're back here with a busy week in gaming news, so we're gonna hop right into it. Panther, first, what are we calling bullshit on?
Oh, the old Blizzard, BlizzCon, Diablo travesty continues. We talked about it last week. It's been all over like every gaming channel news channel. Fuck, I think even my local newspaper picked it up. They fell flat on their face with this Diablo mobile bullshit. Their reaction, their answers to the crowd, and then there was this article by Kotaku, and it's since been corrected. But originally, they said when Blizzard's sole Diablo announcement this year's BlizzCon turned out to be a game for phones, it set off a firestorm of angry reactions from the fans who hoped for a new Diablo on PC. But there was rumors that there had been a video announcement for, like, in other words, like a teaser video teasing Diablo 4. And the fucking internet kind of lost its mind over this, thinking, why did they pull it from, like, BlizzCon is their fucking big event. It's their own personal E3. And, after the mobile phone disaster, people were really up in arms. But the people from Blizzard has come back and said to Kotaku that they had planned on recording a video, but it was not planned for BlizzCon. So why would they go through the trouble of recording an announcement for a new Diablo game, not put it at BlizzCon, and then come back and say, "No, we recorded it, but hey, it wasn't for BlizzCon. We recorded a video for fun." They spent time and money on production of a video announcing a game and never announced it because they just had that much money to throw away and waste. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Right, and the next biggest one would be E3, right?
Right, and I mean, if the video was for E3, then I get it. But I mean, it just seems like it's a mistake for them to hold back at their own conference a potential video of best announced, even if it was a small teaser video. That would have, if the mobile announcement, and then they had to tease this big thing at the end, that would have satiated a lot of people. It would have smoothed things over. They wouldn't have been had shit thrown at them like they had all over the internet for like the last week and a half. So I know I just call bullshit that, like, oh yeah, we done this video of Diablo 4, but we didn't show it at BlizzCon because it wasn't intended for BlizzCon. I call bullshit.
Yeah, when else would you, if you don't show it there? I mean, that's the whole point of it, right? That's the whole point of BlizzCon. Show off whatever you got.
It said here on October 17th, 2 weeks before BlizzCon, Blizzard put out a blog post that essentially told fans Diablo 4 was in the works, but would not be at the show. And these are very exciting times. We currently have multiple teams working on different Diablo projects, and we can't wait to tell you about them when the time is right. So when would the time be right other than their own fucking event? I feel like they either created a video and decided that the mobile game was going to be the big selling point, and they decided not to do it.
Whose decision was that?
Yeah, I mean, like it just, I don't know, man. Like, it just, these gaming companies, they pull this bait and switch, and they, oh yeah, we're teasing all this shit, and then they don't deliver on any of it. Do they expect their fans to be happy? Like, I just don't get it. I mean, like, they're shooting themselves in the foot. One of the Diablo 2 lead developers that no longer works with Blizzard. He basically said they have no idea what the fans want anymore, they just proved their point over and over again. So, man, like, I don't know, fail.
They have no idea what. So how long has Diablo 3 been out? It's been quite a few
years.
Yeah,
several years, right?
Yeah.
Like 5, 4, 5.
I have to Google it real quick, but yeah, it's been a while.
I mean, I don't think you have to be
2012, so 6 years.
Oh wow, 6 years, and it was a pretty big success, right? So I mean, I don't think you have to be a market whiz to know that people probably want a sequel to that. Well, they probably want Diablo 4, and
they want Diablo 4, but Yeah, go ahead.
And just looking at the Command and Conquer thing, the debacle that EA had when they revealed that on mobile, nobody gave a shit. Everybody was freaking pissed off. I think that's a good kind of gauge of what people don't want. People just don't take mobile games serious, and I mean, there's room in the market for mobile games, but you just don't reveal it at a big event like that with mostly a PC gaming audience, right? I mean, that's your core group of people.
All that and the niche of mobile games, as popular as it is, it's popular in a specific type of game that they
Sure.
do. Most
Sure.
of those are, the time killers or, puzzles,
Sure.
bubble shooters, and whatever games you can play while you're pooping.
That's right. By the way,
People don't play seriously.
That's right. By the way, Golf Battle, download it. It's phenomenal. That's
Golf
one of those.
Battle or Golf Clash?
Golf Battle.
Okay.
All
Please
right.
download it. It's phenomenal.
But bringing it back to the point,
yes.
I'm gonna override your Golf Battle here.
Right on the toilet. Just reminded me.
So the gap though, and this is an interesting point. So maybe Blizzard isn't rushing for Diablo 4 despite the success or the reception to Diablo 3. The difference between releases and Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 was 12 years. And
Wow.
everybody should know what the resounding success and love that everybody had for Diablo 2 was. So you would think that Diablo 3 would have been a no-brainer immediately, right? Blizzard takes
Right.
the time with things. So I
get that.
I understand.
And I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you don't want to rush a product and make mistakes, but to use a mobile game as your platform showstopper was a fucking complete and utter waste of everybody's time.
Stop the show.
But but the thing like with this, and you said it's marketing, is to market to the mobile. But that's the problem, though. Marketing is in charge over there, by the sounds of it, and they just see the dollar signs raised by these other converted to mobile games, and they figure, well, let's do a Diablo one and let's just reclone our own fucking game and throw it on mobile, and we'll just watch the dollars roll in, and there you go. Well, no, that's not how it's going to work, because you pissed off your massive fan base. Right. I mean, to announce the mobile game is one thing, but then to basically announce it as like the showstopper, like, this is it, this is the big announcement of the show, here's a mobile game. And then shit on your fans when they start questioning you and basically braiding you with your own conference. I mean, that's unprecedented. I mean,
I guess if that's all you have, though, right? As far as news, and I mean,
they would have been better off of showing it.
I think that this shouldn't have been the big fanfare.
No,
they should have slipped this in at some point with other big news.
Totally.
Yeah. So yet again, more controversy than this supposed Diablo 4 video that never surfaced. Yeah, I'd say either they try to leak it to say there was a video. Maybe there's not even a video. We don't even know. We've never seen it. So maybe they're leaking. Maybe they leaked the footage to say, oh yeah, we had a Diablo 4 video, but we're holding it back.
Well, and what I think they need to do here, just to try to bring the market back, and to bring the fans back into the positive right now, is just a fucking screenshot of a 4. That's it. That's all you need.
Screenshot, tweet it out.
Confirmed. It's being worked on.
Yeah. Other than just a basic blanket statement, oh yeah, we're working on it. Well, you show a screenshot of something that will, kind of, anchor proof on it, and then you probably save a little bit of face. But until that happens, I think there's going to be a lot of rage pointed towards them for this, and it's well deserved.
It'll die down, but I don't agree with trying to make basically a AAA game on mobile, and especially like a hack and slash game like this. It's just not fitting for the platform.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's just certain things don't work for certain platforms. We know that racing feels better on console than it does on PC. And shooting seems to feel better on PC than it does on console. It's just how certain things are made and how you have to handle them, as far as controls and being intuitive and everything like that. Just this type of game, I feel, isn't meant for mobile.
I agree with you there. At least mobile as we know it to date.
Yeah.
Mobile phones and touchscreen input, and it's just like you were saying, people want quick in and out, like as far as mobile games are concerned. You know, a little time killers here and there, because people, if they're in the comfort of their own home, they're not going to sit on the phone for hours on end play an RPG or MMORPG. You know,
Right.
like
Well, that
those
then
games
that's
are
the
just
thing. If
not
you've got you know a TV of any size, really, it's gonna be better than looking at your little 4-inch phone.
exactly.
All right. Anyways, let's move on here. We've got some rumor mill going here, and I'm very interested. Uber, what are we talking about?
Yes, Red Dead Redemption 2 online. RDR20? Just call it
Yes.
RDO. I don't know. So I have this page here in front of me, this little screenshot. I'm assuming it came from Reddit, Panther.
It did. This was sourced
Okay.
from Reddit. I've commented on the post, and multiple people have asked, and I uploaded my comment asking where this information come from.
Right.
There's an article. I'll see if I can find it and try to link it in this the description about some other stuff, but nothing has been confirmed by Rockstar that I can find. So
Sure.
this information, take it with a grain of salt as we go through it.
Sure. So there's a list here, and we'll link it in the podcast in the video description below. There's a list of 11 items that seem to coincide with Red Dead Redemption Online. Number 1, you will create your own character. Wow, breaking news. I think we all could figure that out. Number 2, at the start of Red Dead Online, you will break out of jail. So that's okay. So that tells us something there. Red Dead Online will have a main and side missions. Okay, so just like we talked about last week, what we assumed. If a player keeps killing you, you can tell the law. There's 50.
Tattletale.
Yep. There's 50 player levels, so 50 people to a map. Looks like killing another player will get you a bounty. That's really cool, right
We
there.
stop you right there. Player levels, as in progression. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Not player count.
Gotcha. Screwed that up. Jesus.
So hang on. I wanted, before we go further though, again, let me interrupt you. Let me just stop your train from rolling. 4 and 6. I'm curious if this is legit from Rockstar or from somebody that knows the inner workings here. What's the difference between 4 and 6? Because 6 sounds automatic. You kill a player, you get a bounty. And then 4, if a player keeps killing you, you can tell the law.
Well, maybe between a bounty and the law is different. In other words, a bounty gets placed on you, so everyone on the map sees that you got like a $10 bounty on you. But if you tell a law, then a posse is formed, maybe?
Well, I would think bounty, there'd be bounty hunters, right? I mean, that'd
Well,
be a posse, right?
Well, we don't know.
Maybe bounty hunters are separate from the law, and the law is like the real 4-star shit.
Maybe.
I think maybe the bounty is like the bounty will be placed on you for other character or other players to get.
Yeah.
Whereas if you tell the law, then you'll have a posse on you of AI law.
Huh.
Yeah.
I see. That could be.
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting. But that's good. Like, that's what we talked about, right? Last week when it came to grieving, and there's going to be those piece of shit kids that are just going to try to ruin your day. And so hopefully that will help with that.
I think one thing they should do for grieving is they should allow players to beat up other players and then shave goofy shit onto their face. Like, I want to beat up another player and then hold him down and shave a dick right onto him.
And it's there for 24 hours.
24 hours.
Yeah.
I love that.
You bunch of guys, you want to be walking around with dicks on their faces. Jesus.
Well, and like the chin would be the balls.
Oh,
so
God.
like I'd leave some hair on there for authenticity, but
I think that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, Red Dead Online will mainly be role play oriented. Okay.
So maybe a passive experience is one of the designs that they went for.
Right. Number 8, this is something we already learned. You can own properties, multiple horses, and wagons.
Yep.
So that's similar to, I guess, GTA, right?
Right.
I really hope though, outside of GTA, that they really handle properties better and make them more useful. I mean, in GTA, the only thing you can do in your house is like gather some people to watch TV or just chat, right? There's no real game breaking functions in there. So if I'm buying a farm, let me farm some shit. That'd be kind of cool. Or
Grow some crops, you mean, type of deal?
yeah, exactly. Let me do stuff in my house, not just have it as a place where I can hide so people can't bomb me with their fucking jet horses.
Right.
Jet
Well,
horses.
I'm thinking that 7 and 8 are put together on purpose because if it's role play oriented and you buy property, depending on where you buy it, there should be certain benefits, right? I mean, land was extremely valuable back then because of what you could do with the land.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you buy, something out there in the plains and it's got, a good crop field or whatever, I imagine that buying it will also maybe give you some staff to work that you could, optionally do, but it should give you some income like per month or something like that, per week or whatever. So, there should be benefits as well. It's not just buying a property and yeah, you have a house or place to store some stuff, but it should also benefit the player from being a landowner.
Totally, I agree.
Yeah.
That would be cool if you could farm and actually, turn that into some currency of some sort or something, to use.
Well, and even if it tied into buying a wagon, that's stationed there, the farm would automatically, grow crops for you and harvest them, but you'd have to take the wagon into town to go sell it or something. I don't know.
Right, right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Number 9, you can create your own gang. That's something we all kind of assumed would be possible. I think that's not a breaking news here. Number 10, fishing and hunting is confirmed to be in Red Dead Online, so that's cool. I'm happy about that, right?
Yes.
And to be able to do that with your buddies, like how cool is that? That would be awesome. Number 11, you can edit and improve your personal camp. Okay. So
does that
they mentioned,
coincide? In other words, you can upgrade your property.
Right. I wonder, and like, do you start out having a camp before you buy a property, or
it might be a different though. The verbiage there might be different on purpose. So where your personal camp is like what you can set up by yourself.
Yeah.
With your bedroll and your tent and fire and all that stuff.
Sure.
Possibly, yeah. So, so number 1, you create your own character. That's just like GTA Online. You created your own character.
Yeah.
So the breaking out of jail, that is, just their form of getting your character into the world instead of arriving in Los Santos like in online. Main and side missions, well, that's basically the same as GTA. The thing that I like is the fact where you can properties, multiple horses and wagons. I just hope just the property's useful. I hope the wagons are useful. I'd like to be able to take a wagon into the wild and like hunt multiple animals and pile them on my wagon and take them to the butcher or take them home for food or, take them to the trapper to sell skins instead of having to instead of only being able to carry a few small pelts and a few of the large skins, because if you don't have another horse with you, you can't take 2 of the large animal skins with you.
Right.
So
that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, people mention that for just the regular single player in Red Dead, that they think to see patched in the fact that you can take a wagon and load it up. I mean, there's a fellow that took a train and loaded with pelts, but a fucking train is not, I mean, it's not as easy as take a wagon across countries to hunt off a train. I don't know how well that would work, but
right.
Yeah, I mean, like, I like to see something like that and incorporate into it and create your own character. Like, are we going to have male and female characters?
I'm sure.
So
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I absolutely think so.
Yeah.
There's only a few things on here that I think are not no-brainers.
Right.
Like just looking down this list here, most of this stuff, as far as a leak goes or a rumor, I think this could almost be entirely made up. So I'm not positive on the authenticity here. The only things that really tell me this could be official, and not from official sources, but just that somebody leaked this information to somebody else. Number 5, in Red Dead Online, there's 50 player levels. That's a specific number.
Yeah.
The rest of these are kind of things that you would intuit from this type of game. But something that also speaks to it possibly being not authentic, and this is why we introduced it as a rumor, is number 4. It's the actual missing "you" there. So it says, if a player keeps killing, you can tell the law. That sentence actually doesn't make sense. Should be if
Yeah.
a player keeps killing you, comma, you can tell the law.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Nice catch on that. I didn't notice it either.
Yeah.
maybe just a typo, but I'm one of those people that notices those things.
And I mean,
Yeah.
the fact that they wrote this and they used the backdrop from like the Red Dead webpage, also, it's an easy way to make it look fake. And like I said, where I found this online, and you found it as well, Baker, from Reddit. No one in the comments seemed to be able, even the OP was able to put forth any type of a source where they got this information from.
Right.
So
Yeah.
And another thing too, and I mean, I can't take credit for this too. And Work made a comment in Slack that with properties in GTA Online, you had to have those to be able to do heists and stuff. So whether you need a property to be able to have your gang come over to planning like a bank robbery or something. So
that's true.
That's another reason for a property other than But I get what Fatti said. Like I like to be able to do something with it, not just walk in, sit down, eat a bowl of stew, drink some whiskey, plan a bank heist, and leave. I mean, there's got to be a reason other than just having it as a staging area for something. Yeah.
I wanna be able to host a poker party with my pals.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know, stuff like that.
Some 5-finger fillet or something.
You know, with this possibly being fake, it could also still be very likely to all be true, though. You know what I mean? Even if somebody just typed this up, I mean, all 11 of these bullet points could very well be in Red Dead Online. Like Baker said, most of these are kind of no-brainers, and we would hope that, you know, those are things in Red Dead Online. So, but yeah, take it with a grain of salt. We don't have any date yet, right? I mean, they did say November.
I'm gonna
end
guess
of the month.
It's the end of the month. Yeah,
that's what that seems to be flying around as the end of the month.
Okay. Well, I'm excited.
And it's still
communication.
I mean, and it's still only a beta too. We're not getting a full launch release, so we don't even know what we're getting in this. It could be a big stripped down version of it, just as a massive server test.
Sure. So, yeah, it could just be one mode or whatnot.
Yeah, I don't know. So, I just like to get my hands on it to see what they've done with it.
Yep.
Excuse me. So yeah, I think that 2 and 5 are the only two things that really speak to some inside source here, and the rest of those are just obvious. Really.
Yeah, really. I mean, there's nothing there that's shocking or groundbreaking.
No, but number 8 is interesting, and especially for the point that Panther you brought up about loading up a wagon with pelts and stuff for hunting, or maybe just meat for the butcher, whatever resources you can go out and gather. The interesting thing that's going to come from that is other players trying to be a bandit and steal your wagon full of valuables.
They're just going to get shotgunned in the face. Just like in single player. Roll up on me, try to steal my shit, I just shoot you in the face.
In single player, they're a bit obvious about it, though. And they also, kind of give you a chance to surrender sometimes. There's a little bit of talking.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a conversation.
Is there a conversation?
Sometimes. But in online, though, I'm imagining they can go
shoot you in the head.
Full gallop past you, and just with the auto lock on, all they've got to do is just pass a split second by you.
Yeah.
Or maybe come up alongside you if you're not looking and paying attention, and then they shoot you with a shotgun as you're driving the wagon, and then boom, they've got $200 worth of pelts.
That's true.
Gosh,
got to be careful.
One of you homies got to come with me. Ride literal shotgun.
Yeah. On the lookout. Now with the wagons as well, there was I don't remember where I saw it, but there was information about like an upgraded armored wagon as well, right?
Ooh.
Did you guys see that?
No.
I can't recall where I saw it, but I do believe, and maybe I'll have to post an update. I'll put it on Twitter or something on our Beyond the Controller page. But if I can find that again, I do believe that there was different versions of wagons that you can get. And one of them was basically like a money transport, like armored wagon, kind of like an armored car.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
I mean, if this online is good, it could be the only thing I play for a while. It's gosh, just playing on my own. I have so much fun just fucking around in the map. And now if I can just bring you three guys or all my buddies into this world, it would be so awesome.
Yep.
If they handle the grieving correctly, because if that's fucked up, then it could really turn sour quickly for people who are just trying to have a good time.
That's true.
Right. Well, and for that, they should refer to the last podcast where I solved all their problems.
That's right. That's right. I'm sure they listened.
Oh, they have to.
They may have listened, but did they hear me?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll move on here. Fatti, you've got a wrap up for a certain event. What's going on?
Yeah, yeah. There's quite a lot of stuff that happened over the weekend at Xbox's X018 event thing. I guess it was a fan weekend celebration they held in Mexico. And during it, they shot a live version of Inside Xbox, which they streamed online for the world to see. During that, there was a handful of announcements and a few different trailers, so I'm going to try to just bang through it and get everything out there. First off, Microsoft announced that they purchased Obsidian Entertainment and In Exile Studios, two new studios to add to their roster full of just crazy studios they've been buying with a very rich history of RPG games. I'm not familiar with In Exile myself, but Obsidian, I know Obsidian very well. They did Fallout New Vegas, which was just awesome. Best Fallout out there, probably. So they recently added them to their roster, so it'll be kind of cool to see what they have coming out of that. Crackdown 3 finally got a release date of February 15th. And they also talked about a new multiplayer game mode, which is called Wrecking Zone. It's basically your standard team deathmatch, except it's more focused on destroying the environment around you to sort of fuck over the other team. There's a trailer release of that, and it looks kind of interesting, as well as another Terry Crews trailer where he falls in love with himself. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I definitely recommend giving it a watch. It's kind of different. Xbox Game Pass was announced that they're getting 16 new games that are coming to the service over the next few months, including one that I didn't see coming, but I kind of did. But PUBG is going to be coming to Game Pass. So if anyone's subscribed to Game Pass, you're getting PUBG for free, which will be really interesting to see because Game Pass is also coming to PC. So
well, it's currently on PC, but
no, they're transitioning
limited.
all the Game Pass games to PC, which means
so everything is playable on console and PC is going to be available on PC through Game Pass.
Yeah,
because right now there's only a handful that are available on PC through Game Pass.
Exactly, there's like 10, but
okay.
It looks like there's going to be a lot more. So we could be seeing PUBG available in another new place. Along with PUBG is also Ori and the Blind Forest, which was kind of an indie game that was released a little while ago to great reception, and also its sequel when it launches will be going to Game Pass as well. The first wave of mouse and keyboard supported games were listed, which includes, of course, Fortnite, Warframe, DayZ, War Thunder, as well as a list of others. And that feature will be coming out as soon as this Wednesday. So all the 9-year-olds out there can grab their parents' keyboards and fire up Fortnite and see if they can beat their friends who are still using controllers like a pleb. Square Enix then jumped on stage to announce that the Final Fantasy 13 games hit backwards compatibility, and also said that more Final Fantasy classics would be hitting Xbox next year, given a nod to Final Fantasy 7, of course. After that, there was a new trailer announcing a new PvP update for Sea of Thieves called The Arena, where players fight for treasure and all that stuff. It's basically going to make it much more PvP as opposed to just sailing around and being a pirate. Yeah, I don't know how to explain that any better. There's also a new trailer and two new trailers. There was a new trailer and a gameplay trailer showing off Just Cause 4 and its weather system, and it looks fucking intense. There was tornadoes and hurricanes. Like Buddy was surfing a car into the middle of a tornado. It looks nuts. I can't wait for that game. It's gonna be fucking crazy.
That is one of the games that I'm anticipating to be amazing. Just Cause 3 was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I know it had some launch issues, and that's one thing that's kind of scared me from even pre-ordering Just Cause 4 is the fact that I know at launch it had some stuttering issues on both console and PC. So it's one of them I'm waiting for reviews on before I really dig into, but I'm looking forward to it. The game is just complete and utter nuts.
Oh yeah, and I'm at the point I don't even give a fuck about the story. I barely did any of the story in Just Cause 3. I just played to fuck around because it's that much fun. And this looks like it's going to be the same, if not better. Yeah. I mean, the amount of stuff they're adding to it. They showed off new weapons, new systems, everything. It's nuts. So definitely give those a watch. After that, there was a new DLC announcement. That was new DLC announcement for Forza Horizon 4. It'll be taking the players to Fortune Island, which is basically a small island off the coast of Britain where everything is set. And it's going to be bringing some crazy courses as well as intense weather systems. So we're talking huge lightning storms, major torrential downpours, stuff that's really going to affect people's cars, how they handle, how they drive. So, I mean, at any minute throughout the race, you could be driving on a nice sunny day and then, oh shit, here's the thunderstorm, and suddenly you have no traction. So it'll be interesting to see how they play that off with the new DLC. After that came another trailer for Devil May Cry 5, showing off the new Devil Breaker weapons, which included a fork and Mega Man's blaster.
And a spoon?
Nice.
No spoon.
Fail.
We need a spork.
A spork.
Yeah, should have threw a spork in there. That'd be good. Yeah, it's just a basic trailer showing that off. I'm kind of looking forward to Devil May Cry. I've always been a fan of the series, so it'll be good to see how they do with that one. Up next was another trailer for the anime brawler Jump Force. I haven't played this at all, and I don't know anyone who has, but they're adding more Dragon Ball Z characters. Yay.
Sweet.
Whatever.
Yeah, cool.
Finally.
Whatever.
And then finally, another trailer for this game I'm so tired of hearing about. Winnie the Pooh joins Kingdom Hearts. I fucking don't care.
Zero
I'm
fucks.
so tired of seeing this
Zero.
same trailers for Kingdom Hearts. I'm just done.
Well, they showed it like 37 times at E3. Every fucking press conference had a fucking Kingdom Hearts trailer. It's like, go
and it's been
fuck
like
yourself.
What? Like fucking 10 years this has been in the works? Like, just release it already. Leave me alone.
I never was a fan
Winnie
of the
Pooh.
Kingdom Hearts series, but there's a lot of people that really enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely is. So yeah, that was basically the event in a wrap. I mean, a lot of decent announcements, a bunch of trailers, handful of trailers.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Actually, that was more packed than I thought. There's a lot of stuff in there. I only had 2 things I wanted to discuss out of all these announcements, but I'll let the other guys answer before I ask those questions. So go ahead, Panther.
I was interested in seeing this, and then I forgot all about it.
Well, because remember we talked about it being in Mexico. That was the thing that
it was
piqued our interest first.
Yeah, it was like it's kind of an odd spot to hold. Nothing against Mexico. It seemed like an odd spot for a gaming, press event. But yeah, I mean, I knew there was going to be, the talk about Crackdown 3 because they talk about it every time they get a chance, because if they don't talk about it, people will forget about it. And I mean, like I said, I was looking forward to some big news about Game Pass because of the fact of them trying to transition more to PC. I don't know. I mean, there's really nothing here that it's really, them buying game studios worries me. That trend that they've started where they're buying gaming companies worries me, for the fact is they haven't been able to produce really great content off of what they've already owned, but they just keep buying people up to try to win the market share that Sony has. It just, I don't know, it's like throwing money in a problem that I don't know if they can make go away.
Well, for me, that's fine, because they're gonna write their own resignation letter eventually by doing that. Well, buying studios does not equal success.
No, I get that, but the part that worries me is the fact that these companies, are they just turning into another EA? They're buying all these companies, and all of a sudden, if 1 or 2 of them start to produce shit games, are they going to be gone? And there's going to be more people like out of work, and more companies that have now gone to the wayside that no one remembers because they're bought up by a conglomerate. I mean, it's one thing to back a studio. It's one thing to have a company produce a game directly for you, like with Spider-Man. That's not a Sony first-party studio. But they backed them to do the game for PlayStation. I had no problem with that. I mean, console exclusives are never going away, unfortunately. And this fight that Xbox is trying to start with, well, let's buy every gaming company that's currently not a first party and turn them into our first party so that there's less games for Sony to have on their consoles is fucking ridiculous. That's not what Sony's doing. Sony's developed, I mean, these companies have been with Sony, have been with them for a long time. They just can go out and say, oh, we're buying you, and we're buying you, and we're buying you, and you better make good games. These companies were making good games before Sony got involved with them and backed them. I mean, I don't know. It just seems like they're just swinging their fucking pocketbook around, hoping to win the war. And I don't know. It just worries me that we're going to be they're trying to make the divide even bigger, even though they're saying they're not.
I don't think it is that petty, though. I don't think they're trying to be petty with this. I think the argument has been for years that Xbox doesn't have good exclusives. It's been that way for a while. And I think them trying to get all these studios on their side to develop stuff is them actually listening to us for once and saying, okay, well, how about we try to make some good exclusives on our end? I don't think they're saying, this company makes good games, let's buy it so Sony doesn't get it. I don't think it's that petty. I think they're actually trying something. Is it a good idea? Probably not. It's probably going to blow up in their face, but I think this is them trying to grab that initiative, take that first step to actually say, okay, listen, guys, we understand. You hate the fact that all of our games kind of suck. We're going to try to remedy that.
Sony's the leader in the clubhouse, right? So they got to do something.
Here's an interesting thing that we didn't get to talk about last week, and I'm just going to throw out the headline is PlayStation 4 worldwide shipments hit 86 million. This is a fucking petty attempt at Xbox of throwing their fucking Microsoft money at a problem.
I don't know. I disagree with that. I agree with Fatti, and his assessment is that everyone's been saying, as Fatti stated, and just to reiterate, everybody's been saying for years that Xbox doesn't have the exclusive games. It doesn't have the first party games. So the question then becomes, if they are finally self-aware enough to admit that to themselves, how do they fix that problem? If their first party developers haven't been getting the job done, what's the next move?
Find someone that do.
Find somebody that does.
Exactly. But I mean, the fact that they've bought what in the last year they've purchased 8 fucking gaming companies.
Right. Yeah.
Like that to me shows a desperate move to try to win market share and not appease the fans. Because their first goal would be to go to these companies and say, we want you to make an exclusive Xbox game, and here's the money to do it. Not, we're just gonna buy you and make you fucking make Xbox games. There's a better way of doing it. And to me, like I said, Sony didn't go out and what's the company that made Spider-Man? Insomniac. Sony didn't buy Insomniac. They just give them the money to make an exclusive title. So why isn't Microsoft or Xbox doing the same thing to say, look, we want you to, because they had an exclusive title with Insomniac, Sunset Overdrive, and I don't think the game done that well, but I mean, with the more powerful console now with the Xbox One X, that should be a draw for them and their money to have a studio just go and make them an exclusive title, but I guess they realize that no companies are going to want to do that, considering the $86 million market share that Sony has, or $86 million consoles that Sony has on the market.
Probably be more about control at that point, to where they can, having now owned the company, they can dictate, the moves that they want.
Exactly.
As opposed to licensing out, an exclusive agreement for whatever. It's still up to the studio to make that, right?
I got no problem with them buying these companies to make games. I don't have a problem with it. It's just the fact that they've gone like whole hog and they've purchased at least eight, if not more, companies in less than a year. It just seems like they're like, okay, we'll collect all these gaming companies, but then now what do we do with it?
As long as the product is good, time will tell.
Yeah, get a couple good companies and start producing games.
It's only been a year, right? They've only started purchasing all these companies within the last year.
Right. So
where AAA titles right away.
Oh, I get that. I know. I'm not saying that, but where is this going to end with them buying gaming companies? Like that's my point. Is if they purchased 8 this year, how many are going to fucking try to purchase next year?
Here's the avenue that we haven't talked about, though. This seems to be now a heated topic. The thing we haven't talked about is that these companies have to agree to be bought.
Right.
I get that.
This isn't a hostile takeover by a company to gain market share, I don't think, because these studios have to sign that letter as well. You know, they have to say, okay, we're going to be for Microsoft only.
Right.
And just being a developer doesn't mean that they're only going to churn out exclusives. We almost never see that happen, right? They still make games that are cross-platform and for other things. It's not bringing 8 developers in and now that's only going to be Xbox exclusive games forever out of these studios.
Yeah.
It's generally not what that means.
Yeah,
I just, as long as they don't do the EA thing where they end up closing them all down.
That's like I said, it just
games. I hope that's not the thing. I want them to all make good games. I want them to convince me to buy an Xbox next generation rather than sell my Xbox, which I did this time around. You know, I want them to do this. I want them to make good games because a competition's great. That's a great thing. And I am genuinely excited for Crackdown 3. The
Really?
Xbox Game Pass. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So am I. I'm a fan of the Crackdown series. Yeah.
Absolutely. If it ever comes out, and I mean, this is a release date. It's solid February. I'm excited for that.
I'm excited. I've been excited for Crackdown 3 as I would be to have my fucking balls put into a beehive.
Jesus.
Yeah.
God damn.
All right, so now that controversy has passed, the two things I just wanted to comment on real quick is the Fortnite edition of keyboard and mouse support for Xbox. Is this and not Fatti, I'm sorry, Uber, you're the Fortnite expert here that we have. Do you think that this is going to break some balance? Because keyboard and mouse versus controller in a shooter is typically a death sentence for console players. Now, that keyboard and mouse is going to be officially supported on Xbox with Fortnite. Are those players going to have an even bigger advantage over their console controller counterparts?
I think it's a slight advantage, but PS4 has had keyboard and mouse support. I don't know, since Fortnite came out, I think, or very soon thereafter. And I really haven't noticed a huge disadvantage playing against people with keyboard and mouse. Actually, in fact, I have a couple of buddies who tried it out on PS4 playing with keyboard and mouse, and they just don't like it. So I don't know. PC players tend to not play these games. If you can play Fortnite on PC and you're a PC player, you're playing it on PC. You're not going to move on over to console. And console players, let's face it, they're just not that good with mouse and keyboard, me included.
Well, unless they also play on PC as well. But my question to that is aren't there any cross-platform where you can play against? Yeah. So I mean, so this is just going to be the option for someone on Xbox who likes to play on Xbox to use a mouse and keyboard against people on PC that are already on mouse and keyboard. So I don't know. I mean,
so you think it balances better?
Me? I don't know. I mean, it gives an opportunity for someone that's like, well, I only play on Xbox, but now I can play mouse and keyboard and compete against mouse and keyboard. But
overall, you do have an advantage playing mouse and keyboard, but the learning curve is much steeper on mouse and keyboard. So that's a learning curve a lot of people aren't willing to take. So they sacrifice a little bit of, skill, I guess, to play with a controller. But yeah, having a designated key for multiple thing, rather than having to scroll with a gamepad, there is an advantage to that. But I've tried it both ways. I'm just ass with the keyboard, so I revert back to a controller. And I'm even doing the thing that people are really going to cringe at. I play Fortnite on PC with my Xbox One controller, which I guess is really frowned upon.
I would have really frowned upon it if you said you were playing Fortnite on PC with a Guitar Hero controller.
That would be fucking impressive. Are you kidding me?
That's hilarious.
Well, it'd only be impressive if you were good at it.
Oh my god.
Stands revolution, Matt.
I think the thing with Fortnite, with the very little that I've played it, is there's not a huge difference between keyboard and controller, and the reason for that is Fortnite is not an accurate shooter. I mean, the hitboxes are not as tiny as most shooters out there, like PUBG or any of those other ones, and really the movement isn't too difficult either. So
it's the building.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
you know.
And I don't see a huge advantage coming from keyboard over controller when it comes to that.
The movement in Fortnite is jump, shotgun, jump, shotgun. Is it not? Isn't that the only thing you ever fucking do in Fortnite? Jump, shotgun.
Yeah, really, the only advantage comes into the building because it's on the controller you have to scroll through your building materials or different building pieces, to whereas on your keyboard you have a designated key for each one of those building blocks. So that's where the true advantage really comes in. But like Fatti said, it's really only the higher skilled players who really have an advantage on that. Your average player playing on keyboard is probably pretty close to your average player playing on a controller.
Fair enough. Okay. And then my other thing is about the Devil May Cry, their new Devil Breaker weapons. It says it's including a fork and Mega Man's blaster. So I'm assuming there's more weapons also included. But considering the controversy surrounding Devil May Cry and being able to use actual money to buy upgrades or skills or whatever, I have to wonder if this isn't a typo on the title and it should have said Devil May Cry reveals new wallet breaker weapons. And that's it. That's all I got.
Just how much is that fork going to cost us?
Exactly, yeah. Will you be able to eat after buying this fork? I don't know.
No.
One other thing I'm excited for is the Forza DLC, because they handle DLC pretty well, the Forza series. It's always real fun. No release date on that, though, right? I watched the trailer. I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything either. I'm not.
I would imagine it's probably another month away or so, because the game just launched about a month ago.
All right. So moving on here, the early release of Battlefield 1 has let players play for the last couple days now. I've played a lot myself, just a few hours, but
Battlefield 1.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. I'm thinking Battlefield 5.
I was going to say.
That's a good catch.
Jeez, did you?
This event. Oh, I just saw Battlefield right there, and I guess I skimmed right over it. Battlefield 5 players. Oh no. So okay, my bad. Start over. Battlefield 1 players, to celebrate and commemorate Armistice Day, the end of World War I. On the 11th hour of Armistice Day, they stopped shooting each other and took a moment of peace on the battlefield. And kind of a cool moment that was orchestrated and, kind of a nod of respect to the soldiers and families of everybody that was affected and participated in World War I, and a signal to the end of one of the greatest worldwide atrocities that we've ever seen. So just a really cool moment for gamers to be involved with. I thought that was awesome. I know there was a couple other games that did this as well. I know Tannenberg, which is a game that I enjoy that nobody else seems to have gotten into. They do that as well. So, oh my God, Uber. He got me with it this time. His fucking raw meat he put in the Discord. Son of a bitch.
I had Discord up too, and I just minimized it. Just as you got caught with it, I minimized it.
God.
Oh shit. Well, there goes that wholesome moment.
So I would have. I didn't know about this. I would have participated, but the only problem was if it was 11 o'clock, depending on the time zone. I was at a Remembrance Day service, so I wouldn't have been able to participate. But it's fucking cool that whoever organized it and got everyone in the server. Apparently there was a pilot, according to the write up in this, and one of the pilots didn't, I guess, understand it was shooting people, and some guy attacked the cameraman at the end or something. Like, I mean, there's always got to be that one arsehole. But it's pretty cool that people took the time to try to organize an event like this and participate in something like that. But they should have been at a Remembrance Day service in my mind. So there you go. That's where I was. So.
Well, sure, but I still think it's a cool thing.
Oh, it's fucking cool. It is cool. Don't get me wrong. It is cool.
All right. And then Panther, moving on here, we've got actually some pretty exciting news, I think, coming to PS4 soon.
PUBG.
What's going on? PUBG.
Hits PS4 in December. We don't think there's an exact release date as of yet. According to this article, there is, unless there's something else been published recently that I haven't seen. But this came out yesterday, the 6th. This article came out on the 6th, so almost a week ago. But yeah, so PlayerUnknown Battleground comes out PlayStation December, 1 year after it hit Xbox One as a timed console exclusive. So video game analyst Daniel Ahmad took to Reset Era to say, geez, Uber, dude, what are you doing? Your audio's gone all crazy.
Sounds like you're blowing a fan into your mic now.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. Jeez. You're interrupting and rude. So, this Daniel Ahmad dude took to Reset Era to say that the Battle Royale game was coming to Sony's console next month, and Eurogamer understands this to be true. So PUBG arrival on PS4 doesn't come as a huge surprise after it was leaked by Korean ratings board, and more recently Sony servers spat out PUBG images were spotted by users on with PSN profiles. So yeah, I mean, big PUBG news at the Xbox event about it coming to Game Pass, and now PUBG is coming to PS4. Will it be free on PS4? I highly doubt it. No, I don't think they will include it in like a PlayStation Plus. I can't see it. But yeah, I mean, anyone who's looking to play PUBG that doesn't have a PC, they can play it on the PS4. I mean, I don't see me picking it up on PS4 unless it comes like at a decent discounted price, because I haven't played it much on PC recently. So I'd like to get back into playing it on PC and instead of switching to console for it. But yeah, it's interesting news for people who have been wanting to play the game and experience it on PS4 that don't currently have a PC or an Xbox. So yeah, I mean, games to play are always good, right? Right?
Yeah.
Usually.
I'm not getting bamboozled into that again though. I bought it day one on Xbox One X, and it was fucking horse shit.
Yeah,
there's fucking horrible. I don't know if it's gotten better on console over the last year.
It's supposed to have, yeah.
But my only thing with Game Pass though, and it becoming available on PC on Game Pass, you're not going to be able to play that against people on Steam, I bet.
Oh, probably not. No.
So
it'll run through different servers.
Yeah. So that's a problem with that.
No, I never bought it on PC. I'll definitely pick it up.
No, neither did I.
To Game Pass, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, Panther and I have it. It's a lot better on PC, I imagine.
Oh,
From
yeah.
Everything that I hear.
Yeah, I've seen some. I've seen some video where a fellow was got out of a vehicle and was running across a field that was wide open. All of a sudden, the pop in was that he was inside of a wall of a building and trapped. He couldn't get out. He basically had to quit the game. I thought it was pretty hilarious. So, because it didn't happen to me, so I thought it was hilarious. But yeah, I mean, Xbox did have some issues with it when it was launched. I don't know what it's like now, but if anyone wants to comment below of what the Xbox
never fails.
All right, Uber, get up. Uber, wake up.
All right, well, let's move on here. We'll try to get the last couple here pretty quick. Fatti, something that we actually haven't talked about the last couple of weeks, but loot box.
No,
possible
this is Uber.
solution?
Boy, this ain't mine.
This is Uber. The guy that's supposed to be awake apparently is also Gladys.
Damn it, man.
Jesus.
Did wake up right before the podcast. Uber, take it away.
Forza 7 has a huge November update here, dropping, I think, tomorrow. It's November 6th. Wait, what?
Wow.
No, last week. What?
Wake up, Uber.
It's already out. Oh, shit. Where have I been? God damn it. It said this coming Tuesday. I thought they just wrote the story right before we started recording, just for us. But all right, so Forza 7 has had a massive update last week, and they removed loot boxes completely.
Yeah.
So that's big. I know that was a big thing when the game first came out last year, I believe. People weren't happy about their loot box system. So now, a year later, they have completely removed them. In their place, they've added a new race shop feature where players can grab items like driver gear, mod cars, and more. In addition, they've made some important changes to collision in Forza 7, which will improve both the single and multiplayer experiences for all drivers. So that's cool. And then on top of that, they added some Hot Wheels action to the title as well. Just like they did in, I think it was Forza Horizon 3, they added a Hot Wheels DLC, which was really fun, actually. so that's exciting. That kind of revives this game. Forza 7 is phenomenal. It's definitely more sim oriented compared to the Horizon series, but this is a pretty big update. Now, I did buy this on Xbox, and I don't know, maybe Fatti knows, but I tried to find it on, I sold my Xbox. I no longer have my Xbox. I tried to see if I can download this for PC because it is a Play Anywhere title, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't seem to do so. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to play this game or not.
That's a good question.
As far as I know, this is available. This is Forza 7 is available on PC.
Yeah,
I
but
just searched it
it's
up on the Microsoft Store.
But it's not in Game Pass, so you'd have to purchase
right.
it. It's not a Game
Pass. But
Pass.
I bought it. Like I bought it on Xbox. Shouldn't I be able to play? Just
oh, that's
download
right.
it
Yeah,
on
if you
PC?
because I'm pretty sure
Is it a Play Anywhere title, or was it released for both
maybe it's not.
Xbox and PC? Because I don't think it was a Play Anywhere title.
Oh, the
Dirty.
It doesn't say on the page it was a Play Anywhere title
Dirty
either. So I'm
bastards.
thinking
Tweet them.
that they have two different versions.
Hit them up, hit them up
That's
on
messed
Twitter.
up.
Hit them up on
Yeah,
Twitter.
Not
Yeah.
a big fan of that.
Blast them.
Yeah, but that's a big update. So that looks to be. My guess is they're just gonna keep updating this title, and there won't be a Forza 8 on current gen. They may
Probably
just
not.
hold back until next gen for Forza 8. And yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well, let's see if I can remember who this color is supposed to go to here. Fatti. Beat Saber. I've actually seen some videos on this. This looks interesting and pretty fun. But what's going on with that?
Yeah, so this announcement has me both excited and worried at the same time. Beat Saber will be coming to PSVR on November 20th. Obviously, a lot of people know what Beat Saber is. It's all over the internet. Basically, you're in a VR world where you're swinging cool-ass lightsabers at little bricks that have certain directions you have to go. It's a rhythm game, right? It's Guitar Hero, but you're swinging your body around. And you have lightsabers, so it's cooler. It's coming to PSVR November 20th, and it's going to feature a bunch of new and exclusive content, such as something called the Challenge Campaign, a bunch of new exclusive songs, tons of modifiers, new sabers, and a practice mode as well. Now the thing is Beat Saber is fun on its own, but the real reason it's so popular is because on PC you can add your own songs to it. I don't know that they'll be able to do that with PS4.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it'll carry the same weight that it does on PC. And what really worries me about this, I'm excited. I'm going to buy it. I want to try it out because it's my only VR system. But what really worries me is Sony's VR sensors are fucking garbage. I mean, it doesn't use IR sensors like all the other VR systems out there does. It uses a light sensor. And that's why the Move controllers have a big old shiny dildo on the end that you have to wave in front of the camera so it can track you. That's not accurate. And every VR game I've played on PSVR has issues with tracking and all that shit. So I think that maybe the play experience is not going to be that great, but I'm hoping I'm wrong.
Do you think it's going to be better than the Kinect Star Wars Galactic Dance-Off?
No, that was a fucking masterpiece. That was like that's game of the century. But no, like in all seriousness, I don't think that Sony's VR system can handle this as well as it should. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I have real big doubts in that.
Yeah, this is based on precision, right? So
yeah, exactly, right? It's all precision and timing. And from my experience with the VR system, no matter how I have it set up or how dark this room is, I mean, it's not the most accurate thing in the world. Sometimes my hands just go floating away. So we'll see what happens, I guess.
Wow.
What do you guys think?
I mean, I don't have a PSVR, so I can't really get truly excited for it. But I'm looking forward to you uploading videos of you trying this.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'll make sure I set up my GoPro too, so you guys can see me flailing around like a
Oh
fucking
Jesus!
Yes,
that's gonna be amazing. I'm with you on this, Fatty. Is the same reason is the tracking. You know, maybe there's going to be something programmed in to help with that in the game. Maybe it's the accuracy. Maybe gives you a bigger window to help with the with the light tracking. But my biggest thing is the fact that on on PC you like can put in pretty much any fucking song. There's a guy that I watched on Twitch one day. I was just like checking it to some gameplay of it, and this guy was like able to search pretty much any song that you can think of in his database and play them. So yeah, I mean, on console it's always been you can't add mods, you can't do this, you can't do that. So that's one of the big holdbacks. But unless they have an option where you can import songs or have a mod system that's available, it definitely to make it worthwhile. But yeah, that's the one thing that concerns me is the availability of songs. And there's going to be a shitload of like dance music stuff. Like there's not going to be music more to like possibly my taste versus something that has either a broader range or like the poppy dance stuff. I mean, I definitely don't like that shit. So
yeah, I mean the trailer itself was just riddled with like cheesy ass dubstep, so I imagine that's what you're looking at.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully, I'm hoping for the future that Sony will either fix its current PSVR system or create a new system that's better, because it's just we're using the camera that's been around since the PS3 and it's not working. It's pretty fucking bad compared to other VR systems. I understand it's cheaper, but man,
plus it's clunky as shit.
It is. There's clunky
cables everywhere, and like just to set it up, it's like, fuck, do I really want to put myself through this?
Exactly. I really just want to fucking Vive at this point, but
right,
it's what I have. So
all right, moving on here. So a game that's very near and dear to my heart, and Panther as well. Not to be biased here and throw out a little insider information, but we have a series on it.
We do.
Yeah, we do. So The Forest, one of my favorite games, actually, I think, on PC, has finally hit PS4. And this article is, I'm sure, just about the PC numbers here. I don't think that console numbers, considering the recent release, have been added into this number total. But The Forest has now topped 5 million units sold. It's actually at 5.3 million copies. Wow. So that may not sound a lot to the Black Ops games or
Red
Call
Dead.
of Duty, any of those Red Dead, Spider-Man, God of War. I mean, it's not a truly huge AAA title, because this is actually a game that's coming from a small indie studio. And if I remember correctly, Panther, you might remember as well, there's only 2 guys, right?
It's a small team. I think they've expanded a bit.
Okay.
I don't think it's just the 2 guys anymore. I'd have to do some digging into the company, but yeah, they've expanded, because first the game came out and it wasn't, I'd say, well received, but it wasn't hated. I mean, it just seemed to kind of come out with a little bit of fanfare, and then it just kind of faded, and then it just seemed to get a resurgence as they made more and more updates to the game. So yeah. I'm thinking they definitely must have expanded their team, but yeah, they were pretty small when they started.
Yeah. So it was initially built on a budget of $125,000, which sounds like a lot, but for development costs and the time spent, the hardware involved, minus the cuts to Steam and anything else, it's not that much money to make a video game.
It's nothing.
And the game for that amount of money was certainly ambitious. But yeah, as Panther said, the updates that they've constantly given to it over the last few years has really revitalized the game pretty much every time. It went into early access in 2014. So 4 years later now, and it actually just left early access in April of this year for the PC edition. So 1.0, I remember there was a lot of fanfare about, and it's still received updates since then, and it has even more new updates on the way, adding new creatures and stuff. I really can't recommend this game enough. If you guys are into survival horror, it's got the building aspects. It's a first-person survival horror building fighter game. I mean, it's a lot of things, and it actually, I think, does a lot of them really well. The sense of exploration you get in this game is great. There are actually some generally scary moments. I know during our recordings, Panther and I have screamed several times
and run away from a lot of things
and run away. Toad, one of his famous lines is he screamed at me and I ran. So there's a lot of really cool stuff, and we've sunk, I think, almost 50 hours playing together, Panther and I. So we've done a lot in multiplayer. Also, you can do this all in single player, of course. There's servers online. So this, to me, is a great game and one of the unsung heroes of the indie market. And normally, I just don't like indie games, but this doesn't really feel like an indie game to me. It's just a really a labor of love for the small team from End Night. That's the studio name. So if you guys haven't tried this yet, I absolutely recommend it. I know Panther as well can recommend it. And now that it's on PS4, I think it's still pretty cheap. It should be what, $19.99, I believe.
I think that's what it was. Yeah, it wasn't like a definitely not a AAA price, and it's not really AA price. It's really in the indie market price. So I think it's $20 or $26.99 Canadian, something like that.
There. So it's absolutely worth getting. I've been hearing good things about the PS4 version of it. Haven't tried it myself yet, but maybe down the road after some more updates, maybe I'll get on PS4 just to see what it's like. I think that it absolutely deserves attention for you guys. Like I said, if you're interested in the genre, you now have 2 different ways to play The Forest. So hopefully this will spur you guys to actually try it. I don't know. Anything to add, Panther?
Play it. It's fun.
I
mean,
right to the point.
What took me 5 minutes to say, Panther says in 6 words.
Yeah, it gives you options. I mean, there's options where you can play it in like a passive mode, and you can turn like, I don't PC. I don't know if, like I said, I can't speak for a PS4, but I know you can turn it off where there's no like enemies like the cannibals, so you can just explore the island and build shit, and you can it definitely has some potential to have fun. I built in single player. I built a big crazy base myself, just messing around with the mechanics, and it's definitely I mean, yeah, there's some little quirks here and there, but the game is cool. It's something that incorporates some fighting and like building and like the survival aspect. It's got a good mix of everything, and yeah, it's fun to play and definitely a lot of fun with friends, as games usually are.
Absolutely. All right, so we're at the hour mark, actually, a little over it. So we're gonna go ahead and stop it. We've got more topics here, but sometimes we just can't get to all of them in the time. I think we extended a lot, actually, more than I thought that we would on the Xbox event, but that's good. There's a lot of news to be had there. So if nobody else has anything to add, that's going to do it for us here. Of course, everything that we've talked about, it's going to be linked in the description. And I think that we were waiting on a response, if anybody has it, on what was it? There was something that we talked about.
PUBG
Now
on
I'm
Xbox.
blanking. Oh, on Xbox, that's right. Yes,
and also,
PUBG on
if
Xbox.
anybody has anything related to this Red Dead Online information, yeah, like hit us up on Twitter or throw us, a comment in YouTube or whatever, and say, hey, Rockstar, we know you're listening. So yeah, I mean, if anyone has any concrete info or a link to throw us our way, definitely feel free to do it, and we'll definitely talk about it next time for sure.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
We might even get an announcement before the next podcast because
Quite
it's supposed to
possibly
be coming this month. Yeah,
quite possibly. So
I'm sure we'll talk about it in the future, next podcast, or the next one might even be the release date. So we'll see. But anyways, everything's linked in the description, everything that we've talked about. So from all the guys here at Beyond the Controller, thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.